Thank you, Madam Chair. And I'm going to go from the global to what I think is an important issue, but a bit more mundane. One, actually, I wish Senator Johnson was here, that Senator Johnson and I have worked on portions of. We all have federal employees in our respective states. One of the things that is, I believe, fairly outrageous is that the OPM has been very slow on processing retirement benefits. Federal employees are obviously under a lot of stress these days with constant threats of shutdown, with questions about changing their retirement benefits. We ought to at least remove one level of stress, which is to say that once they retire, the benefits, whatever they are, that they're due, ought to be received in a timely manner. We have federal employees that we've heard of, not just in Virginia, but in all your states, and Senator Kaine has joined me on this. And Senator Johnson, I mentioned that you and I have worked on this issue together. This is one we see eye to eye on, that says we ought to decrease the current backlog. The backlog back in January of 2012 was 62,000 cases. OPM has made progress. We've been up to see their processing center in Pennsylvania. We've got it down to 41,000 cases, but there's still more to be done. I've introduced amendments in legislation, the Government Customer Service Improvement Acts, again co-sponsored by Senator Ron Johnson, to support improvements at the OPM. This amendment that I'm offering today is deficit neutral. It creates the tool we use in this body, the deficit neutral reserve fund to improve the federal budget processing. I think this is an amendment that would send a message to our federal employees that while we debate their size of the federal government, future changes to their retirement, but that with all those things still being debated, at least we ought to be able to get common cause on the fact that those folks who have retired, they ought to get their benefits in a timely manner and not have to wait months and sometimes years. This is done, again, in a deficit neutral way, and one that I hope all my colleagues, regardless of where they sit, will be supportive. I know that Senator Kaine has also joined me in support of this. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Is there further debate? Senator Johnson?
I would just like to voice my support for it. I mean, obviously, if we reduce the backlog time, that reduces the workload. I mean, in terms of time spent on each claim and stuff, it actually, over time, should actually reduce the cost of government. So, again, I appreciate Senator Warner's leadership on this.
Let me just add, I mean, we have been, you and I would not have been impressed with the volume of caseload handled by caseworker. We have seen improvement since January. We need to see greater improvement. I appreciate you working with me on this issue.
I would congratulate Senator Warner. I think this is a good governmental reform, and I know he has worked with others across the aisle on this, and I know you and Senator Johnson are working on some of these issues, so thank you for that.